Tom Willis again. Listen, on this tech fund, in regards to that, when they originally made the law concerning this technical fund, maybe it was needed at the time. But that $3 a document is a lot of money. I think it's time to go up to Carson City, to the legislature, and change that. Try to get a little more flexibility with that NRS regulation. Put some of that money back in the county general fund. Then the commissioners can waste it. But, you know, nevertheless, it'll be out there for people to use, save some jobs. I read in the paper the other day, counties will lay off 400 or 500 people. That's what needs to happen. That's the tech fund, not the Debbie Conway fund. Tom Willis.
Real quick, Don Wilbright, moderator for Veterans in Politics. We've got 10 minutes left, so I really want to hear from all of you as much as you've got to say. I think it's very interesting. I'm going to ask that you keep it to 2 minutes or less. If you see me waving my hand, that means you've got 10 seconds and you've got to cut it off. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. This is Debbie Conway again. When we're talking about the tech fund, again, the monies that are set aside in the tech fund is for the purpose, express purpose of keeping up with the technology as the technology changes. We didn't make the law. The folks in Carson City did. The legislators saw fit, and not just for Clark County, all over the state. Every recorder has a tech fee fund that they work with. As far as creating efficiencies and layoffs and all these kinds of things, I mentioned the first year that I was in office, I managed to cut our general fund budget from $5 million down to $3.9 million and stop the overtime by 99.9%. With that, we have not laid off one single person, not even the part-timers in our department, simply because we cut all the inefficiencies that we saw by way of waste, whether it be supplies, equipment. We made things a lot more efficient by cutting the cost. We did e-recording, which is another implementation that came forth under the auspices of my leadership. E-recording, meaning the title companies would bring in boxes of documents and we would spend oodles of money trying to mail these documents back to the individuals. We cut the mailing costs because now the title companies can electronically submit their documents to us. We can record them and we don't have to handle a paper. And so that was a great savings to the taxpayers, and that was one of the reasons why we were nominated as a finalist by the Nevada Taxpayers Association for the Good Government Award. And so I don't hear anything specific that these gentlemen are pointing to, or anything in terms of their goals for the department, other than the criticism or ways of trying to criticize what we've done, and it speaks for itself. Thank you.
Tom Willis. I think the e-recording and that type of thing's been just fine, but I think maybe she cut down on the overtime because there was 300,000 less documents that first year in office, which obviously cut down on the amount of work. Also, it seems like management's gotten top-heavy, and there's a lot of people with good-paying jobs that don't have a clue how to record a document. That's a recorder's office. I mean, she has a secretary as a secretary. So it's just absurd, and a lot of these people are being paid out of the tech fund, from what I understand. So that needs to stop. You need to have just, the recorder should manage the office, not have 5 or 6 managers in there. They get paid a lot of money and don't know how to do anything except give people a tough time. Tom Willis.
Don Hotchkiss, county recorder. We are in an economic downturn, no doubt about it. Construction industry is off, and a lot of the documents that come through that office are construction related, property related. The number of documents are way down. We need to take a look from the top down to see what we can do in that office to cut personnel slots. We need to cut not only the budget a little bit, but we also probably need to reduce the personnel. In this time when most businesses are laying off, government shouldn't be the exception to the rule. You know, government is too big. It needs to be smaller and more efficient. And I'm going to be taking a look, if I'm placed in that position of confidentiality, that I will tell the taxpayer I'm going to take a look at all the positions in there, and if there are some that aren't necessary, we're going to have to cut those positions or put them up for elimination. There's no reason for that office to stay its current size with a reduction in workload, reduction in documents, and especially with so many people. 13, 14, 15% unemployment rate in this county right now, one of the hardest hit in the nation. leading the nation in home foreclosures, and we're still squeezing the taxpayers for more and more money to support government. So, smaller offices, smaller government, reduce taxes. Thank you.
Can you please pass me the microphone? Thank you. I want to address one thing that I keep hearing. It's a recurring theme from both of these gentlemen in terms of 1 minute they say lay people off and the next minute they say, you know, we shouldn't have layoffs. We've managed to keep our employees working simply because, and I keep hearing them say that the number of documents that flow through that office has decreased. We have eliminated some positions simply by attrition. When people retire, or when they vacate the position, if they find another job, we don't fill those positions. And so I started out 3 years ago, there was a staff of over 80 people. Now we're down to about 72, and that includes the part-timers that we have. By attrition, we have let positions go and we become more efficient. They say, well, you're more efficient because you record less documents. Not true. We have the statistics posted on our webpage. We're recording just as many documents today as we did when I got there 3 years ago when the economy was booming. The reason for that is because of the foreclosure market. When we record a foreclosure document, it's a 3-step process instead of a 1-step process. If you come in and you buy a house, there's 1 step in the process. We record the document, we record the deed. If the title companies are bringing in documents where a property has been foreclosed on, there is an intent to foreclose. There are a number of steps that the legal process dictates that has to be gone through by way of filing documents before the actual foreclosure transpires or takes place. And because of that, the number of documents that we record has increased. And it's right around the same level it was before. So they're giving you statistics and not working in the office on a daily basis, not understanding what the stats are. We post those on our webpage. Thank you.